Well, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, it is. Okay. Right. So, welcome everyone. This is the July 21st meeting of the Stonewall Democratic Club. Go ahead and share the screen.
Calling to order at 7:03.
Yep. Okay. All right. So, let's see. We will start with determination of quorum. I believe we're good, right, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to open the file with the land acknowledgement. Pardon me for a moment while I get that open. Right. PowerPoint takes a while to open. Sorry for the delay, folks. Oh. So, Joseph, do you want to read our land acknowledgement?
Sure.
John? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, someone else want to do it?
John, would you like to?
Sure. Land acknowledgement. We pause to acknowledge the Stonewall Democratic Club of Solano County sits on the land of the Miwok and the Patwin people. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and pray in their traditional homeland. We offer our respect to their elders and the Miwok and Patwin people of the past and present.
Thank you. And now we will start with our there we go. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Someday. Okay. So with that, we are done with that. Let's move on to the agenda. Going to welcome everyone. So we've got John Fox here, who is an elected representative to the Vallejo School Board and also our vice chair. Thanks so much for being here.
Good evening, everyone.
Let's see, who else do we have here? We have Tiffany Jones, who is here representing herself, but she is also now a aide to Lori Wilson's office. Thanks for joining us, Lori. All right, and then our candidates that are with us, we've got Cassandra James, Kay Patrice, Terry Scott, and John Fox again, candidate for school board. Did I miss anyone else? I don't think so, not right now. But so welcome everyone, and welcome to everything, to our meeting. Kay Patrice, you are our guest. I'd like to invite you to tell us a little bit about you, about 3-5 minutes, if you could.
Well, hello, everyone. I am looking at names, and I know a lot of you. My name is Kay Patrice Williams, and I am an ADIM for AD 11. Some of you may know me that way, and really excited to be running for Fairfield City Council. Fairfield is now in districts. So it's District 1, that is Green Valley and Cordelia, where I live. And I'm really excited because I know I've watched our city council meetings, and I know that I can make an immediate impact. There's similar issues that are happening in Vallejo. I see a lot of Vallejoans, but we're seeing increase in affordability of housing. I have a background working in affordable housing. We're seeing a huge uptick in our homeless population, and it looks not only is it increasing, but it looks different. Our number of children that are homeless, the number of families that are living in their cars and living in vans have increased, and they still don't have the numbers right. We have some that are saying 500. The numbers are over 1,000 for sure, and growing. It's only going to get worse. And of course, economic vitality is always going to be a part of my platform, because we need to thrive through this pandemic. And by the way, a recession, it's coming, and it's going to hopefully not look as bad as the recession of 2008, but it's going to really rock us. So, who has experience and who has passion for the community to guide us through what is here and what is coming. I'm signing myself up. I want to represent us, and just proud to be here to learn about the endorsement process. I want to be a part of the process, and just coming to say hello.
All right, well, thank you so much, candidate Patrice, or candidate Williams. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
I see you have a JD as well. Where'd you go to law school? Just out of curiosity.
San Francisco Law School, and I did it at night.
Me too.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah.
you.
Yes, yes. What a 1-year-old at home. The 1-year-old is
Mm.
now just turned 20.
That's great.
Wow. All right, any more questions? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and introducing yourself. We do live stream this, so it's out on our Facebook page and our YouTube. And we also share it afterwards with all of our membership, 200 and some odd people. So thank you. Yeah, and we will go back to speaker view. Right, so we will move on now to our regular meeting, because I don't see any of the other folks that were supposed to be here in our meeting. Nadia had been invited, as well as a couple other folks, but they will come along in the formal endorsement process that we're going to be starting next month, after all of the candidate filings happen and close. So we will have that. So gonna move on to the agenda.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, I do. Hold on just a moment. I have a poll. Do we have a motion to approve? Who would like to make that?
I'll make the motion, Don Osborne.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and then
Who wants a second?
This is Tiffany. I can second.
Okay,
Tiffany.
thanks so much. We got a poll here that we can launch. So if you guys would just vote on that poll.
Do I get the results of that eventually for the minutes?
They're stored in the thing. And just, we'll have to add one more to it. Just because I can't vote because I don't have my phone up and running.
Okay,
But it looks like I think everyone has voted, so we'll go ahead and share the results. It was unanimous.
okay,
including
unanimous.
myself. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. And then the minutes of the last meeting was sent out. I hope you had a chance to read them. Thank you, Joseph, for being so very detailed in those minutes and sending them out so quick. We're going to have you just send them out to the whole club because you do it quicker than I can get to it.
Oh, I can do that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting, or do we have any alterations or anything?
I'll make a motion to approve as is.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay.
Anna, thank you.
All right. With that, we have a poll as well. Okay, everyone has voted. I see Stephen Howlett has joined us. Hello, Stephen.
hey, Stephen.
All right. It was unanimous.
Okay, I'll note it.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. So we'll move right on into reports. So, John, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Again, my report from the Vallejo School Board. We had a meeting last night. We also had a meeting last Friday. Last Friday, we had a special meeting to discuss and keep developing our strategic plan. We went over our mission, vision, and goal statements, and that took a lot of the day on last Friday. Last night, as you all know, in Vallejo yesterday, we had a big scare behind John Finney, where Vallejo Junior used to be, over across from Vallejo High School. There was some shootings that happened yesterday morning. I don't know. I'm hoping, anyways, no one got hurt. I think you all heard about it on the news and the paper. So it was quite scary. We had some young female students that were encountered the person. We don't know exactly who the person was. They were able to get away, thank God. And the police got to the campus, were there for quite a long time trying to look for the suspect. And it was a very scary afternoon. Just glad there was no one hurt. There is, what's unfortunate, along the back edge there, along the plunge and other back area of the school there's homeless, I don't know if you want to say encampments, but unhoused people are in that area. And at first there was thought that one of the unhoused was the one with the gun that came after the young ladies, but that's not verified yet. So we don't know for sure who it was, but we're very uncomfortable with the fencing and with what's going on in that area. So the summer school, the parents came and picked up the students, and they were only given if their parents came and took them yesterday during the lockdown. So it was quite a scare yesterday. And we, as a district, going over safety plans and what worked and what could be done better, we discussed and we're going to continue to discuss. So anyways, we're just thankful that no one got hurt, and hopefully we'll find the shooter. I talked about the strategic plan. Also yesterday at our meeting, we approved, I know you know, we've had issues with MIT Griffin over a year with things they had on their campus. Well, they've done a great job fixing most of those issues. They got rid of the mold. They have new buildings, lots of great construction. They've done a really good job about fixing most all of the issues. So what we came up with is, it's called a tolling agreement. And the tolling agreement stops revocation to take over the charter. And now it's kind of like an agreement for about a year. We're going to come up in the next 60 days with agreements on how to make sure things going forward, these mistakes don't happen again. And then hopefully for a year of oversight. And then I'm hoping all of this will be over because I'm tired of all the lawyers' fees and just everything going back and forth. They have new administration. They have a new superintendent, Nick Driver. They have a new board. Shauna Gilroy is their president. So their board has changed, their management changed, their leadership has changed. They fixed a lot of their issues. I see a lot of positive. I think they're going to do wonderful going forward. And again, MIT Griffin has been part of our Vallejo community for about 20 years now. So anyways, that was the biggest things that have happened the last few days. And I think that's it. Are there any questions for my report?
It's called MIT
MIT/Griffin.
Griffin. Okay, that's the name of the school.
Yes, they're over by Loma Vista. Their campuses. They used to have really old portables that were falling apart and had mold, and they fixed all that. And their campus looks. I went over there within the month, and it was beautiful. They've really changed it a great deal under their new superintendent and their new administration.
Are they a public school?
No, they're a charter school.
charter.
They're a
school.
private.
Okay,
They're a charter school.
And
And again, they've been in Vallejo for about 20 years.
And MIT stands for Mare Island Institute of Tech, or
No, at Mare
Oh.
Island Fitness Academy, that's one of our Vallejo schools. That's an
Oh.
elementary school that's on Mare Island. No, that has nothing to do with MIT Griffin. No, completely different.
All
So what
right.
does MIT stand for? Mare Island what?
It's not Mare Island. Oh, Tiffany, help me out. I know you know.
I was trying to unmute.
I'm
I was
having a
trying to-
brain freeze.
It's okay. No, it is Mare Island. It's Mare Island Institute Tech. That's what it
Institute
stands for.
Tech, but
Yeah.
it's not the same as our elementary. It's totally separate.
Yeah, it is not the same as Mare Island Health and Fitness Academy, which
Exactly.
is located on Mare Island. That is our
Elementary.
choice school.
Yeah.
It's a choice school. It's ours. It's always
Yes.
been ours. Two separate entities. And Griffin Academy is also under the MIT charter. So
So Mare Island, in what is the I?
Institute.
Institute Technology.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Any
All
other
right, well-
questions? All right, thank you.
All right, well, thanks so much. Joseph, you got anything?
Let's see. I guess since last time we did have an evacuation community meeting here in Glen Cove with the fire department and Vallejo Fire Department, Vallejo Police Department. Since we are in a cove, and I do encourage everyone to sign up with Alert Solano, especially because they now have the tech to evacuate people block by block if necessary. And I know this is important to John since he lives at the furthest end of Glen Cove. If there were, well, when there is another fire around here, since we've had our share, it's important that we not have a free-for-all for the one main artery out of the area. So with Alert Solano, they can now, no matter if you're registered or not, they can go block by block by the mobile phone towers and text the people who need to evacuate from the specific areas so that they get priority. And they can also tell people to stay in place if they're not at high risk of a fire, for example. So that was what the crux of the community meeting was about, as well attended in person at Glen Cove Elementary. But like I said, Alert Solano is good for anyone in Solano County.
Yep.
And I want to
we are
thank them.
getting. Oh, go
Oh.
ahead.
At that
Yep.
meeting, Joseph, it was a great meeting. And Stephen, thank you for being there, Stephen Hallett. And they talked a lot about abatement issues around, the police were there. We had a lot of great speakers. So Thank you again, Joseph, for that. And it was a wonderful evening.
Yeah, they
And
talked about the fireworks and the new ordinances and the higher fines for that as well.
Stephen, did you have anything to add, or did we catch it? Did Joseph catch it all?
Yeah, that pretty much summed up the Glen Cove meeting.
Can I note that both the police and the fire department said that of this type of meetings that they've had throughout the city, Glen Cove's show out was the best ever. We were packed. It was a packed auditorium. And I thought that was pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's about, I'll have some announcements later, but that's
Okay.
all I have to really report about the last month.
All right. For me, nothing much. Just want to make sure people know about the National Night Out coming up. It's going to be all over Vallejo, and I am going to be going up to the county voter registrar's office and getting a bunch of voter reg paperwork. So if you want some of that, I can get that to you for your different national nights out. It's a good time to just have them on hand to pass out. We do need to get people registered to vote so they can participate. So please, if you need that, let me know. I can get you some. Like I said, I'm gonna get some for the heritage one here. I think, Glen Cove, there's new people moving to Vallejo all the time. So if you need some, let me know, or you can also go up and get them yourself, but you do have to make an appointment. All right, so let's go ahead and share. We'll go on to old business. Let me share this.
You need to make an appointment to pick up the voter registration forms?
Yeah, if you're going into the office, I'm not sure. Stephen, do you know, do they have that, have those outside the office that you could pick up? But I'm getting a bunch, so I went ahead and made an appointment.
My understanding is that if you pick up less than 50, you don't need to sign out for them. But if you pick up more than 50, you do need to sign out, is how it used to work. But remember, anyone can register to vote online. So if you have someone who wants to register to vote, you can, get out their phone, get out your phone, tablet, whatever, and you can immediately register online. And you can register the day of the election. You can register at the polling places.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna have some at our National Night Out just to make sure that it's there, since it's a time of for all of us to talk about the things going on in our community and our neighborhood. So it's a good time to bring that up to people's minds. Go ahead. No? Okay. So the next part of old business that we have is, and I'm not sharing the screen. Yes, I am. Candidate questionnaires. So those will be going out after tonight to anyone who's there. Plus, there will be also a link on our webpage, Facebook, all that jazz for people to fill out, because we approved our questionnaire at the last meeting. So thanks everyone for taking a look at that. And our endorsement vote will be in August. We will be having a candidate sort of online forum for the different cities and for the city council races, for the school board races, and for anything else that is out there. But that is where we will do an endorsement vote. It will be conducted through our online voting, which is through Google Forms that we've done in the years past. That way you don't have to be in a meeting to vote, because we did update our bylaws to cover that. So that was a good thing whenever we did that back in the pandemic beginning. We're still here. All right. So be on the lookout for that. Share with anyone that you know that is running for office that is a Democrat. They must be registered as a Democrat to get our endorsement. I will say this, Paula Bauer did find out from the California Democratic Party that they don't have to be a Democrat to come and speak to us and just, tell us something about them. But for our endorsement, our bylaws are very clear. You have to be a Democrat to come before our committee to seek our endorsement. So at our endorsement meeting, they must be a Democrat. And I'm glad to hear that you said Dwight had changed his reg, because I noticed he was American Independent, which I
Yeah.
don't think he knew. That is not an independent. That is definitely not an independent. That is far right of even far right. So I saw that and I sent him a note. I was like, do you know what it says that you're registered? I don't think you do. A lot of people do that. They see independent and think, oh, I
Yeah.
want to be independent.
Yeah, I think that was. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So good on him for changing that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so look for that. So next up, the Solano County Democratic Committee is going to be voting this week on whether or not we have a headquarters. The idea is that we would have two in the county, one up north or north-ish, and one here in Vallejo. And so what I have put on the agenda is that to ask the committee if we could support a headquarters here in Vallejo, since I know most of the people here are in Vallejo, and this one would service the southern part of the county, so that would be Venetia and Vallejo. And it would give us some place to go, to pick up things like literature, things to hand out that you walk, things like that. Plus, it will also give a space for meetings. It would be in connection with Congressman Garamendi, and I believe there'll be some other candidates there as well. I don't. Did Tiffany has Assembly Member Wilson mention anything about being there?
Not to my knowledge. I only work on the legislative side. I don't
Okay.
know what's going on the campaign side, but
Yeah.
let me I can put you guys in contact with.
You know, we're just gonna go with whatever the central committee does. But
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, what I'm asking today is that we approve that we will support the headquarters, meaning that if they have volunteer calls, pick up that call and go there and work it. The place that we have identified is pretty big size space. We've actually used to meet in that building before, but it's actually in an office. And there is there'll be, chairs and all that kind of stuff, tables. But also they're looking to ask clubs to help pay for part of the expense. And so I was wondering if we could do $250 a month in financial support. So that would be 3 months only. And that would be a total of $750 to support a headquarters here in Vallejo. I will say this, we would be allowed to use the facility as a club. So while it's happening, so we could use it for meetings and things like that. But we are looking for us to at least mobilize and be part of the greater Democratic Party here in Solano County. So I would put forward the motion that we approve support for the Democratic headquarters here in Vallejo and include up to $250 a month in financial support. Do I have a second? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Discussion. So just financially, so I understand, up to $250 a month, why is it variable?
Because not sure what they're going to be asking for, but I want to set a limit.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it'll be a fixed amount each month, but we just don't know what it is. Something up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody want a second?
I wanted to know which other clubs are all the Democratic clubs in Vallejo participating?
It's open to all of them. I cannot speak for them because I think this has not been voted on by the Central Committee, so this may be a moot point. But we're at least prepared. This allows us to be prepared to do it if the headquarters. The reason it is stated as a headquarters in Vallejo is if it doesn't happen in Vallejo, then we will not be putting out any money.
So if it does pass with the Central Committee next week, then we will contribute up to 250 for the 3 months, totaling no more than 750.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Joseph, I think you had a comment.
Yeah. Why is it only 3 months?
That's because it starts in August, September, or no, I'm sorry, September, October, and November.
Oh, so this is a temporary location.
Yes, not a permanent.
I see, I see. And I think further to what John is asking, if we waited the Central Committee encouraged other Democratic clubs to contribute, would it not be a lot less if we're splitting it equally among us?
Well, there's already going to be a deficit probably with the Central Committee. So that's why it's up to 250, but not to exceed 250. So we'll see what the shakeout is, but it will be even from all clubs participating.
Oh, it would be. Okay, that's good
Yeah.
to know. All right.
Too bad we only need to the 8th or 9th of November, but I guess you have to do the whole
Yeah.
month. You gotta do the whole month.
Yeah, I know that for this it's a 30-day notice. But
Can we do mid-month 15th too?
you know, the Central Committee will work that out.
Can you tell us what the location is for the place?
Yeah, so it's the place where we used to meet before the pandemic, at the corner of Marin and Georgia.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it's Suite 1, which is a large suite. So like when you came up the stairs, it was to the right.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so there's stairs, but there's also elevator and there's also an ADA bathroom.
Okay.
So that's all covered. So that suite is there. It's got a big conference room, and then there's some smaller offices and a dining room and a kitchenette that's associated with it. Plus you have the atrium.
Okay.
For that kind of stuff. So I mean that's where it would be. By being in the office, you get air conditioning in the office and heat if need be, but probably don't need. But yeah, so and there's already some stuff there from when we used to meet there that I have not gone and picked up, as far as like 33 chairs. So yeah, so do we have a second?
I'll give a second from Miguel.
All right.
Okay. All right, so we have a poll made up. Okay. I should have a poll to vote. Okay. All right, looks like everyone has voted. Okay, it was not unanimous, but it did pass.
Okay, 80-10-10.
Okay, thanks for that. We'll be sure to put that in our report to the Central Committee. The next part is support for coordinated candidate forums in Vallejo and Benicia. Beverly McGann, I don't know if a lot of you may or may not know her. She reached out to myself, Paula, and Kathy Carriage, I think, over in Benicia, or maybe not Benicia, but a couple other folks. Anyway, and wanted to see if there was a desire to pull together forums for the different districts and things for the candidates. And this is irrespective of their party affiliation. So any candidate would be invited, but it's just a way for clubs and concerned citizens to pull together a forum. And so in our email exchange, Paul and I, we both think it's a good idea for United Democrats and Stonewall, but then there's also reaching out to other clubs as well. There's several other clubs here in Vallejo, and then of course you've got the Progressive Dems over in Benicia, but it's a way for us to get together and be sort of part of that. Yes, Stephen.
I'm totally fine with us partnering with other organizations, but I would prefer to see us just kind of tag on to a forum that's already being planned rather than have a totally separate forum, because I'm sure you'll find at least 12 forums this election season for the candidates. And I just don't know that it's all that productive for us to have a 13th one. So I'm totally fine with us partnering, but I'd rather it just be, you know, all the organizations coming together so that the candidates only have to come to less forums and we all hear them at that forum rather than hearing them say the same thing at several different forums, if that makes sense.
Yep, and that is exactly what Beverly was talking about, was bringing everyone together for a one per district kind of thing, or, you know, and reaching out to all the different clubs. So it's really about having that one main forum for candidates to go to. And in our conversations, I was saying that I would help with the tech side of things so that we could broadcast them, let people see it, and everything. So it is a group of entities, clubs and not clubs, that's pulling it together. Beverly's the one who's trying to wrangle all this together. So it would just be helping to coordinate with that. Not sure if there's any expense to cover with this, so we will not have that as part of this right now, but there probably would be. But we do have the executive board can spend some money if we need to, up to a limit. I think it's $500, but it shouldn't be that much because I'm not sure where we would have this at or anything. This is all like, literally it was brought up yesterday. So it's all pretty new, but I just wanted to bring it before the club to see if we were wanting to do something like that.
So this isn't an actual motion, it's just an informal poll?
No, it will be a motion to approve support for the candidate forum, so that we work together with other entities.
So the motion is to approve working
So we would-
with,
That we would work with other groups to host and it would be an inclusive candidate forum, not just Democrats.
sorry, I'm distracted by Anna. It looks like she has her hands up with Endora behind her.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, sorry.
I keep thinking she's raising her hand to ask something.
Oh. Yeah, it's kind of weird looking, isn't it?
Okay, so thank you, Tom. Do we have a second for that motion?
I'll give it a second to Miguel.
All right, thank you, Miguel. As you can tell, I try to withhold, especially on things like the agenda, the minutes, since I'm super involved with that. So I prefer to mark someone else making these motions. Okay, all right. Tom, you want to do another tally?
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Let's see, one person has not voted. There we go.
Oh, Anna, you didn't have to take that off. I
know. I just, it was sort of distracting. So,
Okay, unanimous.
Yep.
I've noted that it's unanimous.
Great. All right, that's it for our business. We'll move on to items for future agendas. Okay, and if you can't think of anything today, please do email the board and we'll put it on the agenda as always. We need it the Monday prior. Yes, Stephen.
We should have a future agenda item to discuss monkeypox.
Actually, I was hoping you could cover that in our announcement.
I can, yes. I mean, we should still have a whole future agenda thing, but yes, I can.
Yeah, if you would, just because Stephen has been good enough to send me some things that are happening in Sacramento and a few other things as far as like vaccinations, things like that. So I was hoping you would cover that in our announcements. But anyway, so if you, we can still put it on the agenda, definitely, because I think it's going to be here for a little bit, unfortunately. Are you okay, Anna?
Oh yeah. It was monkeypox.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
frustrating. I'm just so, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like, if,
Yeah.
don't breathe and don't touch.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, so going on with announcements real quick. VGM Potluck this Saturday is July 23rd. It's at Matt and Eric's house. That there is a link there. So be there, and I guess wear gloves.
It starts at 2 p.m. I'll explain why I'm mentioning that. But yeah, that one starts at 2 p.m.
Yep, 2 until 7. Okay, Cassandra.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to remind folks that the applications for the Sacramento Street apartments, the project-based voucher waitlist will be opening tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it will close when they received either 1,000 applications or it will close on August 5th at 5 p.m. I will put the information in the chat, and there is a preference for economically low income, but the homeless preference is on there, and you have to be certified through Resource Connect Solano. And I can put that information as well in the chat.
Thank you. I'll add that to the minutes.
Yeah, and then we'll get those sent out as well. But thanks for that, Cassandra. Anything else? Cassandra, anything going on with your campaign that you'd like to announce?
No, I'm running for District 2. If you would like to donate or volunteer, you can always go to the website at www.electcassandrajames.com, or feel free to DM me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
So this is a place where you can make an announcement if you have an event coming up as well. So.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else got announcements? Terry, Joseph?
Oh, I have a few, but
okay. Right. Terry?
Yes, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. As you know, we were able to cobble together the first of, hopefully, annual diversity festival in Benicia in April. Despite, cobbling and duct tape and chewing gum and putting it all together, we had a lot of pushback from the city on getting it planned. But we pushed it forward, me and a couple of folks, we just kept going with it. And because it was a success, now the city wants to step in and they want to take it over. So the good news is that the city wants to step in and be part of it without even talking to us. They're ready to start putting it in and calendarizing it. So it's wonderful that the city of Benicia is going to be our partner, and it's great that we're now going to be opening it up to a wider audience. So I just wanted to advise everyone that it looks like the Diversity Festival will be the third weekend in April of 2023, and stand by for more information about it. But it's going to be a significantly larger, most likely even a 2-day event compared to what we had this April.
That's great, Terry. I attended that. I'm glad to hear that.
Good.
You were there for the Humane Society, right? Or did you?
No, I was just a spectator, and maybe the Humane Society will become involved in that. But I was there for Sharon Henry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Cassandra, did you have something else? See, your hand is still up. Okay. So anyone else? Joseph, you want to start with yours?
So sure. Stephen, were you going to talk about monkeypox at all?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I was just waiting for everyone else to be done with their announcements.
Oh, I have one.
Yeah.
I put a flyer in the chat. A week from today, I'm producing Twitch Talk, which is a screening and live discussion of Bewitched, best TV show in the world. And after that, I now have a monthly slot. It will be every third Friday at Integrity on Marin Street. We show an episode and do a live Facebook recap. So hopefully more people can come. And there's a DJ playing music from the 60s.
Nice.
All right, I can go next if nobody else. And Stephen, I'm happy to let you. Oh, Cassandra, I think, did you have something else?
I think her hand is just still up.
Oh, okay. So, oh, and Stephen, I don't know if it helps, but feel free to steal some of these announcements if you have any input into Monica's weekly announcements. So let's see, the first one is the Humane Society of North Bay here in Vallejo on Solano Avenue. We are having our third open house, and we're going to start having them much more frequently. So that's going to be from 12 to 4 this Saturday. Now, when we had COVID, everything was done by appointment. So we only recently started having the open houses. We still are available for appointments 7 days a week. If anybody is interested in getting a tour or adopting or fostering, you can fill out applications at hsnb.org. But the open house is nice because you can look around and you don't have to have any specific agenda. And so that's from 12 to 4. That precedes the VGM potluck. Let's see, where the Humane Society is also at the farmers market, usually every third Saturday. And so we have maintained a booth there, and we can answer a lot of questions, have sign-up sheets for volunteering. We're always looking for volunteers and board members if anybody's interested in that. We are actively looking for people with skills in marketing, finance, law, hint, hint, Cape Trees. If anybody is interested in being on that. Let's see. Glen Cove is participating in National Night Out as well, and we have one of the events for that is open to general public at the Glen Cove Waterfront Park. So there is a flyer about that I can distribute if anybody's interested. And let's see. Also, August 23rd, GVRD is having the Wonderland event. I think it's a family-friendly event. It's on a Tuesday night. The Humane Society will also be there with a booth. And then forecasting a little bit into the future, I know there's the Benicia Dog Festival in mid-October, the second annual. And the week after that, GVRD is having a dog festival in Vallejo, which will be Halloween costume themed. So I think that's October 23rd. It's exactly 1 week after the Benicia Dog Festival. And I think that's it. Yeah. Stephen, you
All right, Mr. Hallett.
All right, so monkeypox is very much a concern right now. The risk for the population overall right now is very low, but as many, if not all of you know, men who have sex with men and transgender women are at an extremely heightened risk for monkeypox, and the vaccines are in very small supply. Supervisor Brown sent a letter to President Biden asking for more vaccines. More should be on the way. Every county is going to be getting them. So, but there still won't be enough, unfortunately. So it's a lot like, at the beginning of COVID. So I'm hoping that the president will declare an emergency, or the Secretary of Health and Human Services will declare an emergency, because it's at that point now. And in terms of the response right now, I have been insisting that public health work with the LGBTQ community in planning this. And I got a commitment finally that public health will be meeting with Jonathan Cook from Solano Pride to discuss to discuss how to move forward on this. There's a lot of unknowns at this point. Personally, my personal opinion is that this virus is going to continue to spread, and the monkeypox vaccine will probably become a standard vaccine like smallpox once was. There is some evidence to suggest, based on the way that the smallpox vaccine was formulated and how the disease worked, that it's similar enough to monkeypox that if you're of that generation that got the smallpox vaccine, you should be protected from monkeypox. So that is kind of it in a nutshell. There are some vaccine opportunities there was one in Sacramento, several in Sacramento. I personally got my monkeypox vaccine last Wednesday. The SAC LGBT Center did an amazing job, as did Sacramento County Health. The Oakland LGBT Center is offering appointments. I posted that in the Vallejo Gay Network and Solano Pride on Facebook. And I'm sure, Tom, if you could send that out to the membership, that's where you can get one. There's also a place in Berkeley that's offering them, but you basically have to get there at like 8 a.m. for a 12 p.m. vaccine because it's just walk-in. So it's again a lot like it was at the beginning of COVID, where trying to find the vaccines is unfortunately going to be incredibly difficult. But that's kind of where it is in a nutshell. Are there any questions anyone has?
Stephen, I do. Do you have to be a certain age group to get it?
No, you have to get the monkeypox vaccine, you have to meet certain criteria. Each county is doing it a little differently, but it's essentially the same. It's basically men who have sex with men who meet certain criteria, or transgender women who meet certain criteria. And I'll send what Sacramento County's public health department put out. I'll send that to Tom. And it's also, I would start following the Sacramento LGBT Center on Facebook. I would start following the Oakland LGBT Center on Facebook. It's basically a hunt to find the vaccines. But no, you do not have to be a certain age, unless I don't know that it's safe on minors, though. That I will have to look into if it's authorized for minors. But as far as adults, I don't believe there's any age limit.
Okay, and then I also, Stephen, did you personally have any side effects? And also, if you had chickenpox as a child, is that helpful that you had chickenpox or not? And then I'll stop. That's my questions.
So in terms of chickenpox, I don't know. I don't think so, because so many people have had chickenpox that I haven't heard that it's been effective. But remember, monkeypox has not spread far for a long time. I'm still not exactly sure how it started spreading so far now. So there's not, at least as far as I understand it, been a lot of study on it. There's now going to be, of course, but so there's a lot unknown about this, unfortunately. And your second question, are there any side effects? My arm hurts like hell. It has never hurt this bad in my life from any vaccine, but they have to do it under your arm. I mean, underneath your, where the flabby part of your arm, I guess, is where they kind of have to do it. And oh my God, does it hurt. Totally worth it. I am so glad I got it, but it still hurts a week later.
Wow.
Thank you.
Joseph, you had a question?
Oh, yes. Gosh.
You threw him at the flabby part of his arm. He's like, I don't have any flabby parts. Unlike me, I got it.
Well, I should have said the flabby part of my arm. I apologize. That's where they had to put it in. Yes, I definitely have that.
Gosh, it was about monkeypox. I'm spacing. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, so folks, yeah, watch out for this, and also we're not done with COVID. So if you have not got your second booster, get your second booster. It's available. Yes, Stephen.
And speaking of COVID, I just wanted to let everyone know Vallejo now has a test to treat site at the Norman King Center. You can get tested there, and if you are positive, you can get your COVID medication there as well.
Nice.
So there's on the county website. If you Google Solano, and in fact, I'll just pull that up now and put it in the chat, but it'll tell you how to make an appointment there, where it is, and all that. There's been one in Vacaville, but Vallejo now has one.
Okay, I remember my question, Stephen. I know that there were two, last I heard from Times Herald, there were two suspected cases in Solano County of monkeypox. Have those been, do you know about the status? Have those been confirmed or not?
My understanding is one was confirmed, and there were some that were unknown. There were, I believe, a couple that were unknown. I haven't heard anything different, but my understanding is one was definitely a confirmed case, and there was also a confirmed case in Fresno. So it's definitely getting out there. And as you know, and just like with COVID, we know that confirmed cases don't represent all of the cases. So it's
right.
It's out there. But yeah, there was definitely at least one that if I recall correctly, one I know of where there was a confirmed case in Solano County.
And the information for the COVID test and the Paxlovid, which I'm presuming is the COVID medication you're talking about, where is that information? Is that a different link or?
I will be putting it in the chat momentarily.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, folks. Anyone else have anything? Announcements? Okay. Just a reminder, our next scheduled meeting is August 18th, but we will be having some other meetings with candidates prior to that. Once the filing deadline we have hit it, which is August 12th. So we'll be scheduling some of those meetings and getting that put out there for people. And that's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I just put the link in the chat if anyone wants to see where to get the testing and the medication before you adjourn.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Okay.
And I will save the chat and send it to you, Joseph, so you can have everything there.
Okay.
Or actually, I think you should be able to save the chat, right? But
I think that it only goes to the host or co-host.
okay.
So you're making the motion to adjourn, Tom?
Yes, I am.
Second.
John,
All right.
seconds. Okay.
All in favor? We'll do a vote by acclamation. Aye.
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 All right. There we
Be
go.
well.
1 hour.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everyone.